Good evening, everybody. I'm Ahmad Rashad, even though I don't look like Ahmad Rashad. I got this stay in the house beard thing going on. But anyway, I want to thank you all for attending the event tonight. Living Well is an amazing organization, and they need your support this year. So you're going to be supportive, right? All right. Have a great evening, and on behalf of Living Well, thank you all very much.
Wow, did you see that? Ahmad Rashad. See who we know? And guess what, Ahmad, your beard looks mighty nice. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the virtual 2020 Living Well Disability Services Transforming Lives Gala. I'm T. Michael Rambo, and I am so honored to be hosting this incredible event and helping to continue the impact Living Well Disability Services has on the lives of so many with disabilities in the Twin Cities. Tonight, we're going to show you the truly inspiring things that Living Well is able to accomplish thanks to generous help of people with great big giant hearts like you. Thank you for taking the time to celebrate Living Well Disability Services and raise some critical funds to continue their important work. Throughout the evening, you can look to the left of your screen, all right, to get signed up to bid and to peruse the fabulous auction items and experiences we have for you to bid on to help us transform the lives of even more wonderful people. Remember, the silent auction will remain live until 9 p.m. to make sure that you have plenty of time to check out the items and get your bids in. If you have questions about this process, you can also call 651-688-8808. That's 651-688-8808. Sounds like a song, doesn't it? During the gala to get your assistance. Now, I'm sure that the COVID-19 pandemic has changed your answer to what I'm about to ask you. But, here we go. What is the difference between living and living well? Ha-ha! You're probably thinking getting a moment away from whomever you've been quarantined with for the last 8 months would check that box, huh? Or maybe just getting a decent haircut or shave. Actually, though, it's something even more basic. You're living well when you're able to feel comfortable in your own skin. And you feel significant, heard, and fulfilled as an individual. When you've got all those things, life opens up. I am lucky, because you see, I live my own life in that way. I'm an actor, performer, singer, and being heard comes pretty easy for me. And there's nothing more fulfilling than being able to do what I love and to make a difference in the world. But for those with intellectual, developmental, and physical disabilities, to feel heard, valued, and fulfilled takes providing exceptional services. And that takes help from exceptional people like you. Tonight, through the power of the internet, we have an opportunity to give them the exceptional help, love, and support, and have a lot of fun in the process. So, let's get into it. You ready? To kick this off, we're going to share a short video about Jill, one of the many people whose lives Living Well has helped transform, as told through the words of her sister Kay, to give you a peek at how much good this organization does on a daily basis. Take it away, Kay.
You know how some people don't smile with their whole face, but there's those people that smile with their whole face and their eyes. She was one of those people that definitely smiled with her whole face and eyes. A tiny spark. I remember the first day she came into the house, she was just this broken little bird. Suddenly, I am whole, the world is kind. But everyone here gathered around her at the table. And I could tell by the way they looked at her, they either saw her, saw who she was, or they wanted to. The people that work here, have devoted their lives to seeing the value. And when you give your money to Living Well, you are giving to what is most important in this world, which is what's vulnerable. It's what may be hidden and unseen, but it's really what matters. I can tell you this, that if my sister were here with me right now, she would tell me, and she would tell you that she was smiling at you, and she would tell you how grateful she is to you and for you. She wasn't smiling when she got here, but she smiled because the people here smiled at her. I think we all have come across those people in our lives who see us. Living Well does something really good in this world. It's been a hard world for us lately. Sometimes there's these little places of grace where good things happen. Things that happen that are about smiles and love. And so my broken little bird of a sister came here and she was seen. And just like all of us who are encouraged by those people in our lives that love us and see the best in us, that's what happened to my sister. And it was a wonderful gift to have other people see her as I saw her.
Wow. Thank you, Kay. Thank you for sharing that powerful story. Our hearts are with you and your family. Jill and Kay's story is just one of hundreds of stories we could share with you that Living Well has helped write with your help and the help of some of our generous sponsors. Speaking of sponsors, we have some of the best around, and we'd like to take a moment to recognize them. Our presenting sponsors are Pate Bonding, Mike and Tina Douglas, Galen and Karen Pate, and Forever Pets. Our Living Well sponsor is Gertum Medical. Our exceptional services sponsors include Bituminous Roadways, the R&M Clark Family Foundation, and Walter and Mary Jo Roberts. We'd also like to thank our other sponsors who have helped carry the torch, like our Remarkable Abilities sponsors. And of course, there are our Heart of the Community sponsors. And then we'd like to say thank you to our marketing and video sponsor, Fuss Marketing, who produced all of the incredible, that's easy to say, isn't it? Incredible videos you'll see tonight, as well as Maple Lane Media, who helped produce this show. So, a huge thanks to all of our valued partner sponsors for helping support our ongoing work. But there's someone even more important we want to thank, and that's you out there. You! Your generosity is the secret sauce that makes Living Well possible. So be sure to keep clicking that donate button on the left here of your screen and placing your silent auction item bids throughout the night. Living Well has been transforming lives in the Twin Cities for almost 5 decades. And to tell you more about the heartwarming history of the organization and their ongoing mission, here are 2 of the most important and dedicated people you'll ever find leading the charge. Living Well CEO Rod Carlson and Board Chair Melissa Bain.
Thank you, T. Michael, for the kind introduction and for emceeing this year's gala again. We keep asking him back because he's just that good and really understands our mission. Thank you. And thank you to all of you out there for taking time out of your socially distanced lives to celebrate and share with us tonight. Many of you have been friends of Living Well for years, while others are just now learning what we're all about. But all of you are equally important to our success in making a difference in the lives of people with disabilities in the communities you live in. As T. Michael said, I'm Rod Carlson, the Interim CEO of Living Well Disability Services, and I want to take a couple of minutes to tell you about Living Well and how we got started. But first, I want you to take a moment and imagine that you are a parent of a child with severe intellectual or physical disabilities. Imagine that you have learned that the needed services, the cost of caring for your child would be beyond your means and abilities. And when you reached out to other services for help in desperation, you were turned away because the care your child needs was even too expensive for them to help. With no one else to turn to, the fact becomes clear that your best and only option would be to place your loved one in a state-run institution. All too often, this is the bleak case for families with members who have intellectual and physical disabilities. It's absolutely heartbreaking. And it's why back in 1972, a group of families facing this exact challenge did something incredible about it. They opened one of the first community-based residential facilities in Minnesota for children with developmental disabilities. With that first home, what would become Living Well Disability Services was born. Since then, we've opened a total of 35 homes in 20 communities across Minnesota, and we're still growing. We also still serve over 15 of the original children that started with us in the 70s. Today, Living Well supports nearly 300 people with mild to severe intellectual, developmental, and physical disabilities in their own homes and in our group homes across the Twin Cities metro area and beyond. It's no secret that this takes a lot of love and human power to make it happen. Just how much? Living Well has more than 500 professional staff, including direct support professionals, nurses, physical and occupational therapists, and program managers at each home. We are also blessed with over 500 committed volunteers who dedicate their time, their talents to supporting people we serve. And every one of us is devoted to offering life-transforming services so that those with disabilities can have the ability to not just survive, but thrive, to be heard, to feel significant, and to live their best life possible. To tell you a bit more about our important mission and how we accomplish it with help from amazing people like you, here's Living Well Disability Services Board Chair, Melissa Bain.
Thank you, Rod. Good evening, and thank you all for being with us. I'm so fortunate to be able to help lead this incredible organization in such a worthy cause. From day one, Living Well's mission has been to provide exceptional services to transform the lives of individuals impacted by disabilities. And our services are truly that, exceptional. So what exactly are the exceptional services we provide? Literally everything from meal preparation, bathing, medication administration, nursing, occupational therapy, physical therapy, holistic wellness services, and social supports. It's significantly more than just supporting a person's physical needs from day to day. We also provide services that help people truly live their best lives by focusing on their social and emotional well-being. We provide support to help them pursue hobbies, volunteer opportunities, and other activities in the community that bring meaning and joy to their lives, because that's what Living Well is. What really makes the services we offer exceptional is that they aren't just tailored to a person's medical needs, they're tailored to a person's personality and interests and dreams. Providing these services is incredibly rewarding work, but it's never-ending and it's expensive. Federal and state Medicaid programs help provide some of the funding that's needed, but only enough to cover the basics of health and safety, and that aid is decreasing at an alarming rate. Then there's the COVID-19 pandemic. Since the outbreak this spring, costs to safely provide care have risen more than $1 million at Living Well. 2020 has been a challenging year for all of us, but even more so for the people we serve. With the closing of day programs and the inability to see family and friends for months, many of the people we serve didn't understand why their routines were completely upended. But Living Well's professionals and volunteers have risen to this challenge, going above and beyond to not only continue providing exceptional, person-centered services, but also to add joy and fun to these potentially scary and confusing times. And it's all made possible because of you. Seeing what we can accomplish with your help and the impact it has on the people we serve and their families gives me tremendous hope. I know that with your generous gifts and support, not even a global pandemic will stop us from continuing our mission of transforming lives. Thank you for being here with us tonight and for your generous support to continue our mission today, tomorrow, and until COVID is a distant memory. Back to you, T. Michael.
Well put, Melissa. Thank you, and thank you, Rod, both of you. Now, nearly 50 years of transforming lives? Wow, that is incredible. It is obvious to see everyone here passionately works toward this mission day and night. And it's why Living Well has success stories after success story, as you'll see in this next moving piece showing our mission in action.
Every person who comes to Living Well is wonderfully unique, and to transform their lives, it takes an equally unique kind of care, like the kind that transformed the lives of Jeff and Cindy. Jeff came to Living Well Disability Services when he was just 8 years old. Unable to speak, communicate his needs, or even walk, Jeff was overwhelmingly frustrated, so much so that he would often act out in desperation. But the caring staff at Living Well believed in him. Through patience and encouragement, they earned Jeff's trust and gradually helped him turn his frustration into inspiration. The staff was able to teach Jeff sign language, letting him finally be heard, connect, and make friends. And the therapists and staff were there every step of the way, helping Jeff learn to walk on his own, giving him the independence and mobility to get around the house and even do his favorite thing in the world: pick up a puzzle, dump out all the pieces, and put them back together again. But just as Jeff was hitting his stride, 2020 hit him with everything it had. At the beginning of the year, Jeff lost one of his best friends. He was absolutely devastated. And that February, Jeff became severely ill. So ill that he had to be hospitalized and later put into hospice. He was able to fight his way back to health, but right after he recovered, he was struck with COVID-19 and had to be hospitalized again. With COVID cutting him off from his family, his parents didn't know if he would be able to pull through, but he did. Time after time, the staff at Living Well was there providing everything he needed, comforting him and encouraging him until at last he was able to return home. Cindy came to Living Well Disability Services from a difficult and scary living situation. She was frequently taken advantage of in her previous living arrangement and felt like she was in constant competition with her other housemates. This left her feeling severely anxious, lonely, and helpless. But that all changed once Cindy arrived at the Carmen Lane house. The Living Well staff worked with Cindy to find meaningful ways to empower her to find her purpose by helping others around the home. Where before Cindy didn't have a voice, now her housemates make her feel more heard and valued. Cindy loves it. But most of all, Cindy loves helping Jeff with his puzzles. The two of them have formed a really special bond.
I just help them, I dump them out, and I like to help out because it makes them feel good, so that helps.
Today, Cindy feels an enormous sense of purpose and has less anxiety. She now knows that she's a special member of her community at Carmen Lane and feels like she has found her true home. Jeff is practicing his sign language more and built lasting friendships with the staff and Cindy. Through exceptional services and care, the staff at Living Well Disability Services have been able to do much more than just touch Jeff and Cindy's hearts. They've helped transform many other lives too. This level of person-centered care is only possible because of the help of generous donors. Thanks to them, Living Well is able to make sure all of the people they serve can live fulfilling, happy lives. Just like Jeff and Cindy.
What a beautiful and inspiring story, don't you think? Seeing the impact Living Well's extraordinary services have on each person's life is such a powerful reminder of the difference your generous donations can make. And now is your chance to start making that difference with our Fund a Need segment. To get the fun started, I'd like to introduce to you the man who is going to help you feel more generous than ever. auctioneer Dave Thompson. Come on in here.
Thank you, T. Michael. From heartbreak to healing. That was a beautiful story about Jeff and Cindy and how they are now thriving at Living Well Disability Services. Tonight, we all have the opportunity to be part of something bigger and support people like Jeff and Cindy. Living Well Services serves many people with significant and costly medical conditions in addition to intellectual and developmental disabilities. Because of the expense, many other providers simply aren't able to care for them. Living Well is known as the place to turn when others have to turn them away. However, COVID has made this even more of a challenge. Living Well serves almost 300 people like Jeff and Cindy, and they need your generous support right now. That's why we're here, to raise as much money as we can to do this transformational work together. Our hope is that by hearing some of these stories, you'll consider making a donation tonight. But first, let's make sure everyone knows how to register and give. It's really easy. You're probably already registered, but if not, look to the left of your computer and push the donate button. Look for the donate button. Click the button and then click to donate, and it will take you through an easy registration process. Or you can text Transform Lives, that's Transform Lives, all one word, on your phone to the number 76278. That's 76278, and follow the link to donate there. Now, if you have a donor advisor fund, or you want to send a check, we still want you to take the time to register and put in your pledge so we can count you in. Then at checkout, you can say contact me and we'll reach out to you directly. If you're having trouble, we have staff ready to take calls. Just call 651-688-8808. That's 651-688-8808 to help you out with any of your questions. Now that we have that taken care of, let's get back to our story. We've learned about the critical work that Living Well Disability Services does. We've also learned that Jeff had COVID and successfully beat it. But the video didn't give you the full picture of the impact COVID has had across Living Well. Stringent health practices and adjustments were put in place immediately. Staff still needed to work. Sometimes they were staying in hotels nearby when there were staff shortages. In total, COVID has cost Living Well over $1 million in unbudgeted expenses, and that's only for 2020. COVID is still here and impacting our vulnerable population in more ways than the general public. Months without seeing family and friends, you can see Mike Jr. at a socially distant visit with his father. It's not really possible to explain to all the people at Living Well what is happening. They just know it's very different. Most of the day programs are still closed. Daily life has completely changed. Strict social distancing measures are still in place. Personal protective equipment were issued to all staff and homes. There were shortages of the supplies and tripled our costs immediately. The costs associated with safely continuing our services rose significantly. Technology for remote meetings, food costs increased $6,000 per month, and hazard of COVID sick pay were implemented to stop the loss of essential staff. And, well, you get the picture. For people with disabilities, staff cannot take off. They cannot mail it in or Zoom it in. They have to be on site. Staff are still there on the front lines. It's sometimes said that people with disabilities are not always noticed. We can't let that happen. We have to see them. We can't abandon them. They need you now. We're here to raise as much money as we can for the people supported by Living Well Disability Services. Usually, we'd be trying to raise money for an elevator for greater accessibility, or an accessible van, or health and wellness services. And those are still very important, but tonight we want to focus on COVID, because it has impacted every single person supported by Living Well, their families, guardians, and all the staff. By giving to Living Well Disability Services, you are helping to provide the exceptional service that keep people like Jeff and Cindy and Mike safe and thriving at a time like this. As you can see, there's a lot of needs. We desperately need your help funding. So let's make it happen right now with Living Well Fund a Need. Fund a Need is an easy way to make an instant impact, helping Living Well continue to provide their exceptional services. We invite the entire audience watching tonight to contribute at any level that's meaningful to you. You can pick the year you were born, say 1972, and give a gift of $1,972 or $19.72. By the way, 1972 was the year Living Well Disability Services was founded. If you do give it your favorite number, please share the meaning. We'd love to hear it. Let's start with the biggest funded need first: sterile gloves. Prior to COVID, Living Well spent $12,000 per year on gloves. With the pandemic, it's now more than doubled, over $24,000 for gloves alone. Who out there is willing to lend a hand paying for gloves? See what I did to you, Michael?
I like that.
I will personally air high five anyone who donates now to help us with gloves.
All right. Better get your hands up there, Dave. Hervé, Veronique, just donated what? $10,000. Come on.
Yes, Hervé and Veronique up top. All right, thank you so much. And that is very awesome. And what we need to do is also talk about other needs we have. As I said earlier, Living Well staff is as essential as it gets. They've got to be there every day, no exception. To make that possible, we need $5,000 to $10,000 to help with unplanned hazard pay for staff when people get sick.
Yeah, wait for it. We just got another $10,000 donation. Oh, thank you, Joel and Mary Lee. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Let's keep going and talk about the rising costs for food. Everyone is stuck at home now, T. Michael, every day.
Yep.
That means we have to provide a lot more meals. Thanks to COVID, we now need an extra $6,000 to $10,000 per month for food alone. I would love nothing better than to fill up our kitchens, pantries, refrigerators, and freezers with tons of healthy meals. I know some of you out there feel the same way.
Dave, it looks like Carol Lee is with us on that food. She just donated $5,000. Boom! All
Yes.
right.
That's fantastic, Carol Lee. It's heroes like you that are making an unimaginable difference. As much as we love the giant donations, and we do, we also love smaller donations. They add up quickly as well. They can help with all kinds of supplies. For instance, we need $500 for face shields, gowns, and other personal protective equipment. When someone gets COVID in our homes, we have to immediately isolate them from the rest of the people in the house to keep everyone safe. This requires a lot more protective equipment for our staff, and the price of the additional PPE is going up by the minute.
Ooh, those smaller donations can help a ton.
They sure can. Then there's face masks. Did you know that we go through over $100 worth of face masks a day? We have more than 500 employees. All of them have to wear masks. Who out there can help us pay for face masks? If you can, please click the donate button now.
Ooh, speaking of clicking the donate button, we just got a $5,000 donation from Kenneth W. That's almost 2 months worth of face masks. You know something? I like that so much. Wait for it. I think I want to sing. It's time to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. Well, you got to accentuate the positive. Yeah. And that's what we're doing. Accentuating the positive. What you think?
We sure are, T. Michael. That was fabulous. Thank you, Kenneth, and to everyone else who is clicking that donate button now. We mentioned earlier that many of the day programs have had to be canceled. That means Living Well has to find ways to keep everyone engaged and happy. And the best way is through activity kits, which cost $50 for 5 people. Some of those smaller donations can make sure that people at Living Well all have something enriching to do while they're cooped up inside during the pandemic. And I see that a lot of you are donating now. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of our Fund and Need segment, but not the end of the giving. Living Well is the best place for families to turn when other organizations turn them away. Let's keep on giving to make sure Living Well is here for those who need them for years to come.
Dave, you're absolutely right. And so, how are we doing out there? Huh? Wow, that's an enthusiastic response. I hope you're as psyched as I am because I'm about to tell you just how much money we've raised together so far tonight. Let's see here. Are you ready? Okay, here we go, everybody. Ready now? We're at $54,746. Yeah, that is phenomenal.
Fabulous.
Thank you all for your donations, and thanks to your generous donations for helping to get us here and get this party going.
Thank you. Shout out to everybody for tuning in tonight. Thank you. You were so grateful, each and every one of you. I'll be back a little later with another update.
You guys are absolutely amazing. Thanks, Dave. I've got goosebumps. I mean, I really do. You want goosebumps from witnessing you jumping in and helping out. Whoever you're sitting next to, whoever you're there with, give them a COVID hug or an elbow, a fist bump, whatever. But just thank you, and thank you again. And for those of you who didn't get to jump in on these, well, you're in luck. You can still donate until 9 p.m. tonight. So please keep checking in and checking to the left of your screen and keep those generous donations going. I'd like to take this time to thank some of the incredible donors and sponsors for helping us put on this important event. Hosting a virtual gala has posed some big challenges this year, but these people and sponsors all stepped up to make it the awesome celebration and event it is right now. So a giant thank you to all of our sponsors seen here. We really couldn't do this evening without your help. Thank you for making tonight such an incredible success. Now, I'd like to pass the mic over to two of the gala's co-chairs to say thank you to some truly special people, special to Living Well, that is. Introducing the two Kevins, Kevin Riley and Kevin Pleasant.
Kevin. Thanks, Team Michael. We're getting close to hitting our goal. Let's keep that generosity flowing. And on the topic of generosity, Living Well has a long-standing tradition of recognizing the people who have gone the extra mile over the past year by generously donating their time, money, and talents with our Dream Maker Awards. So what exactly is a Dream Maker? Dream Makers are extraordinary people and organizations who've made a gigantic difference in the lives of people impacted by disabilities. There are 4 Dream Maker Awards that fall into the following categories: self-advocate, community partner, volunteer, and donor. Each year, the Dream Maker Award recipients are carefully selected from the nominations made by our board, employees, and supporters like you. So to tell you who this year's Dream Maker Award winners are, starting with our self-advocate category, is our co-Kevin, Kevin Pleasant.
Our Dream Maker Award in the self-advocate category honors an individual served by Living Well Disability Services for their personal accomplishments, including advocating for themselves and others in the disability community. This year's self-advocate Dream Maker Award recipient is Don Golofsky Jr.
Everything will stay the same, nothing will change if you don't get involved in the process. We were looking into getting a Metro Mobility service in Lakeville because it's important to us to have a second option just in case we don't have a staff driver for that day.
Metro Mobility didn't used to service here, and the service that we did have only went until 6 o'clock at night and never worked on weekends, and so it was real hard to use.
I'm not the only one here. There's 4 other people besides me, and you can't just think about yourself.
This bill is really very important.
Well, Sheila helped us write a nice form letter, and we all signed it and contributed to our own experiences as to why it's so important for us to have transportation down here.
And then next thing you know, you're
up front row with the governor.
And I can't believe I got pulled in with the governor. It was like, wow, government does work. Being here makes your life as normal as possible because it's a normal house.
2020 Dreammaker Self-Advocate Award presented to Don Golaski Jr. So congratulations.
I'm proud to know that I have a brother that took the effort and the extra step, and he made a change.
What's in it for you is you get the greatest feeling in the world. I can't say it any more simply than that. We need you.
Congratulations, Don. The Dreammaker Community Partner Award honors an individual or organization whose work in the community has made a significant difference in the lives of people supported by Living Well Disability Services. This year's Dreammaker Community Partner Award recipients are Dominic Zappa and Kingwood Management.
You know, I started doing this job it started out as a job. It became family, and it wasn't even on purpose. I got connected with Living Well through Kingwood. I started working at Kingwood about 5 years ago or so, and that was one of the accounts we had. And as soon as I started working in the houses, I got to meet all the people and just became really connected with them.
He fits in great with the people that are there, and says a lot about him as a person.
It's weird to be able to say you're happy going to work, and yeah, every time I go to a Living Well house, I'm happy.
When we don't send Dominic to certain houses, we can expect to get a telephone call from the staff, and that's telling you a lot.
The thing that makes me click with or be happy with what I'm doing is like I'll hang a TV in the person's room or whatever, and they come in and they see it working. And
he's got special relationships with the people, and you don't just build that by going in and doing your work and walking out the door.
I thought about it as just a TV, but for somebody else that, you know, isn't able to do it for themselves, to have it up and in their room and the way that they smile and they're just so excited, it's contagious. It's hard work for the people that are taking care of residents, especially when there's COVID, but everybody goes to work and they're coming to work and helping people. And it just shows the level of caring.
And I'm proud of them.
I would say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for this award. It means so much to me. I know it means a lot to my wife, for our company Kingwood. It's grateful to be just part of the family. It seems to all work out when you are surrounded with good people like at Living Well.
Congratulations, Dominic and Kingwood Management. Our Dreammaker Award in the volunteer category honors a Living Well Disability Services volunteer individual or group who has made an outstanding contribution or demonstrated exemplary leadership, creativity, cooperation, and hard work that has transformed the lives of people we support. This year's recipients truly are a gift from heaven. This year's Volunteer Dreammaker Award recipients are Charlie's Angels. Congratulations for truly earning your wings as this year's Volunteer Dreammaker Award recipients.
Charlie's sisters. He's got 3 sisters and his mom, and they have been a part of his life forever.
Charlie's been in a lot of different organizations. He went up to Cambridge when he was 8 years old. So before that, he was always with me. When we started with Living Well, we started like making meals and putting them in containers.
During this time of COVID, they've been coming and They come with the meal hot and ready to go, so we don't even have to cook it or anything.
Because when the girls called me and said, well, we're going to make meals, I said, hot dog, that's good.
It's amazing. I will say to them, we need something, or we want to do this project, and I have this idea, and 20 minutes later, they're at the door with all of the things we need.
And we love planting the vegetable garden, and we love planting on the outside with flowers, and so anything like that we can do to help. And it was fun.
Some of the staff there, because they're Charlie's sisters, they started calling all 4 of them Charlie's Angels. And it just kind of stuck. I nominated Charlie's Angels for this award. They do phenomenal things.
Oh my, I didn't expect this.
I think what makes this award so deserving to them is that they do it not just for Charlie, but they also do this for every single person in our home. So I got this letter from Charlie's sisters in regards to this honor. We are very surprised and honored that our family was chosen to receive the Dreammakers Award. We are not the only volunteers for Living Well, and we feel that everybody and anybody who volunteers deserves this award.
We're your angels. We have wonderful memories, Charlie, don't we?
Congratulations, Charlie's Angels. The Dreammaker Donor Award honors an individual, family, company, or foundation whose financial support has created, generated, underwritten, or provided for exceptional services that transform the lives of people impacted by disabilities. This year's Donor Dreammaker Award recipients are the Pate family for their ongoing support and Farm Fest fundraiser.
We've been involved with Living Well our whole lives through our grandparents and our parents. Living Well has been ingrained in our lives since we were really little with our Aunt Betsy, and
we're trying to keep the tradition going.
I was really young for all of my experiences with Betsy, but I think the thing that's resonated the most with me is the way our dad talks about Betsy. I think my favorite story of Betsy from my dad is she couldn't speak, but she knew everything that was going on around them. And one of the times my dad sped through, I think it was a red light or a stoplight, and she just started laughing in the background, in the back seat, knowing exactly what he did.
Yeah, we have a lot of memories that are kind of ingrained in our mind through pictures. I have a picture of me playing Monopoly sitting on her lap, and you can tell that I'm very happy, she's very happy.
I think growing up with this, we've seen our grandparents and our parents carry such selflessness through all of their actions with Living Well, and I think it makes us want to work harder towards supporting this organization. Most recently, we've helped put together some charity events in the summer called Farm Fest, where we have a live band and bring people together to donate money to Living Well.
Everybody really loves going to it in the first place, and then once we can get them there, they become entranced with it as well and realize how great of an organization it is.
And I think something that probably sticks with them the most is hearing how these homes and all of the people that work with Living Well have transformed lives by helping people with disabilities live a fulfilled life. I think it's great that our family's being recognized for this award. It definitely goes primarily to our parents and our grandparents. We're learning how to be a little bit more like them and give back to Living Well. Hopefully we can continue the tradition just as well as they have over the past 50 years.
Congratulations to the Pate family. We have an addition this year called the Above and Beyond Award. Have you ever met or worked with someone so outstanding that they could be nominated in every category? Living Well Disability Services employee Beth Ryan fits that bill. The Gala committee would like to honor Beth with this special award and thank her for her decades of caring service, her donations, volunteerism, recruiting and cheerleading, and overall compassion. Did you know she has recruited almost 10 people from her extended family to work here? She is literally the definition of someone going above and beyond. Thank you, Beth. You're amazing. And we'd like to thank all of our award winners for everything they've done this year. We couldn't have done this without you. And now back to you, T. Michael.
Why, thank you, Kevin. And Kevin, I so wish we were all together in person so these people, all these people, could hear the great giant round of applause that they all deserve and that have been made possible through your contributions and exemplify what it means to be a true dream maker. Thank you all. Thank you and congratulations. All right, now let's bring Dave, our auctioneer, back up and let's see if he can give us the latest numbers on our totals for the gala. Come on, Dave.
Thank you, T. Michael. I have been glued to the numbers as your generous donations continue to climb. Right now, we are at an astonishing $65,000, over $65,000, at $65,246.
Woo-hoo!
Yes. That's so great, folks. You're making such a difference tonight with your ongoing donations. But we aren't done yet. Our silent auction and donations will continue until 9 o'clock. And I'd like to take a minute to tell you about some of the absolutely amazing auction items and experiences that are up for grabs tonight. Starting with this, item number 506. It's the stunning painting by our resident artist, Dan. Isn't it gorgeous?
Nice.
That is absolutely fabulous, and that's a great job. And you can buy it tonight for the high price of whatever you want to pay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's beautiful and uplifting, which is why we used it for our inspiration for this year's gala. Who couldn't use a pop of color like this in their life?
Absolutely.
This next item is for pizza lovers. Item 507 is a trip to Chicago for 3 days and 2 nights to tour the city and try all the famous Chicago pizzerias you can handle. Deep dish Chicago style pizza sounds about right now.
Yeah.
My mouth is watering just thinking about it. Item number 502 should perk up your ears if you love things that sparkle. It's a pair of gorgeous diamond earrings from R&H Macy & Company. We're bringing the bling, baby. I've got to warm up my yodeling voice for the next one. Item number 501 is a 7-day dream vacation to Nendes, Switzerland, right in the heart of Switzerland's largest wine country. On this trip, you get to stay in a beautiful 4-bedroom condo with incredible views of the Alps. You don't want to miss this one.
Nah.
And for the helpless romantic, how about item number 500, a romantic 3-day getaway at an award-winning Canoe Bay Resort in Chautauqua, Wisconsin. Wow. And you get to stay in a luxurious treetop cottage. Just imagine taking in the views with a glass of wine from up there. Wow. We've even got prizes for the avid fair-weathered golfer with item number 509. It's an incredible golfing experience in sunny Scottsdale, Arizona. It's for 4 days and 3 nights at the Fairmont Scottsdale Princess. It includes airfare for 2, a $600 gift card for golf and concierge service. With winter on its way, ladies and gentlemen, playing golf in the sun sounds pretty amazing to me.
Absolutely.
And these are just some of the incredible items you can bid on through the night. As I said, this auction will go until 9 o'clock tonight, so keep those bids rolling in. And maybe you'll be the lucky person to take home one or more of these fabulous items.
Oh, yes, come on now. Get in there and start bidding if you haven't already. Ladies and gentlemen, your support of these exceptional services will make sure that hundreds of people can live their best lives, the best lives possible as fulfilled individuals. We're almost to the end of this remarkable event, and I've got to tell you, you should all feel mighty proud of yourselves for coming through and making tonight's gala such an enormous success. I personally can't thank you enough. Well, I guess it concludes. This concludes this year's Living Well Disability Service Transforming Lives Gala. Thank you again to all of the sponsors, the donors, and friends who made tonight possible. You guys and gals are awfully inspirational and an inspiration to all of us. Thank you. Now, here's some last remaining details, some housekeeping, if you will. Don't forget to check out with your credit card online. And just a reminder, you can still make donations after the close of tonight's bidding by sending checks to the Living Well Disability Services office. Okay? Good luck as you continue to bid on the silent auction items. We would like to leave you tonight with the following slideshow to help you see how your generous contributions are helping and just how appreciative we all are. Oh, everyone, thank you so much again. And good night, everybody. Good night.
Good night.